So we had an update from the UK government about the requirements for getting into Spain yesterday, and just wanted to run through them really with you and give you our take on it and expand a little bit on their bullet points. So first of all, additional requirements for UK nationals resident in Spain. First bullet point, resident card issued under Article 18 of the withdrawal agreement, the TIE card. Okay, yeah, great. We know that the TIE card, if you're holding your TIE card, then you can get into the country. That's fine. That's the new residence card for Brits, and the one that Brits can convert if they're already green card or green certificate holders, or the new card that first time Brits registering for residency within the withdrawal agreement last year get. Okay. Move on to the next one, temporary or permanent EU residence certificate, which is either the certificate or the little card. Obviously, first piece of advice on that is when you are in Spain, if you've got one of those, get it switched for a TIE card as soon as possible. Yes, we know lots of people are going to shout, well, it's not, you don't have to by law, blah, blah, blah. Yes, you don't have to, but just get it switched. Forget all those stupid arguments about, well, you don't have to by law. Look, it's not going to last forever. The green cards fall to bits and you can have a lovely TIE card with your photo on it. Get it done. Now, they also see the famous case of the BA flight where people were refused entry onto that. I think that's been more or less resolved now. They should never have been refused entry into Spain using those cards. Receipt of application TIE. This is a good one. So when you go to get your TIE, whether it be the first time because you've got a resolution from the government proving you've got access to residency here, or you're switching your green certificate or green residency card for a TIE card, then you'll get one of these documents. Now, one of these documents, that's what everybody gets when they're in the process of waiting for their TIE card if they're a third country national. Okay, or in the case of Brits, if they have been granted their residency, and as I said before, switching their residency from a green certificate or card for a TIE card. So you should be able to use that and as a residency card. That is the equivalent of a residency card. I've been in Spain 21 years. When I switched my green residency card, I had 6 weeks where I was walking around with this, and it's proved that I was a resident in Spain. And if I needed it, I could use it as a substitution for my residency card. Okay, so that's great. We did do a video on all these bits of paper that they're requesting, so you can check through the feed, and it explains a little bit more about those. Comes down. This is where it gets good. Confirmation of positive outcome of your residency application. Now, people before have been knocked back for this. So your resolución isn't your resguardo. Resolución basically it's like your contract with the government saying, yes, we have given you residency. Now you need to go to the Foreign Office and give them your fingerprints and order your TIE card. Before, people were not getting in on this, and now, according to them, the UK government, you can use this to get in, which is brilliant news. There's a lot of people who have been going through the residency process who qualify to be residents but have gone to the UK for whatever reason, got stuck, and their lawyer or whoever's representing them has sent them this document and they haven't been allowed back. Well, now, according to the UK government, you can use that to get back in, so that's great. And then you'll be able to complete your residency when you get here. Now we move on to, in the absence of any of the above documents, other documents that credibly evidence your legal residence in Spain for the 1st of January 2021, such as a padron certificate, brackets, issued by your town hall. Okay, so that's cool, yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, if you are on the padron, then one would assume that you're a resident here. All right, I can tell you now, there's town halls which will take non-residents on, and for many operations, you have to get a padron certificate before you take residency in Spain. But hey, great, if they're going to let you use that to get in, well, there you go. I've done a video on this, so check the feed, but for a padron to be used in Spain, it needs to have been issued in the last 90 days. So whether that's the case here, I don't know. They don't really stipulate how old the padron is. I mean, I've seen padrons, people walking around with padrons for they're years old. Whether if you've got a padron sat at home in the UK that's from 2016, you decide to come to Spain, if you can use that to get that over the border, I don't know. But anyway, padron certificate. Work contract, evidently if you've got a work contract, you need to get in with a work contract. Of course you do. Rental contract, well, Again, a rental contract you could print off online, I suppose. I don't know whether they'll accept that, but according to the UK government, they will. What I can tell you is that in Andalusia, for a rental contract to be valid, in theory, it actually has to be registered with the Junta de Andalusia. Now, 90% of people who do private rental contracts don't register it with the Junta, but in some cases, more or less, it's more of a fiscal thing. So if you wanted to write off expenses against a rental and you've rented it to somebody and you need to prove that, then you'd have to have it registered. Okay, whether that applies in this case, I don't know. But I can tell you that. Proof of property purchase, yeah. Well, look, if you've got deeds for a property, or again, you don't have to be a resident to have to buy a property, but you can get a nota simpli. A nota simpli you can get those online. So again, in our news feed on the website and here we've got a video about nota simplis, so it will tell you how to get one. And there's also, apart from the land registry, there's actually companies that get them for you. We use one called registro.es, which are very good. They're up in Barcelona, get you them in 24 hours. They're great. They charge a little bit of a premium, but they're great. So anyway, that's what the UK government have updated. So it looks like there's going to be a bit more flexibility at the border for people coming over from the UK who are resident here in Spain, but maybe haven't quite got their paperwork in order, or using some of these documents you can get in. Now, something I wanted to bring up was this certificate which has come across our desk. And I'm going to be honest, we haven't really got any prior experience with these before because we've never needed to. 95% of our clients are EU or British citizens, so we're either doing EU operations or we're doing, obviously, withdrawal agreement operations with them, and clients that we've got which have come from non-EU countries generally arrive with the visa already intact, so we complete the operation for them here. But we were in the police station the other day with a client who had their resolution. They're switching it for their TIE card, and they got their resguardo. And they mentioned to the police that they were travelling abroad. They were going back to the UK. They had to. Unfortunately, they have a sick member of family. And they asked whether the resguardo would be okay to get in. Now, admittedly, that was before this information was published. So what did the police say? The police said, okay, that's fine, but you have to go back to the police station or come back and see us and get a document which is called a Autorizacion de Regreso. Is that right? I'm going to show you now an appointment for it. There you go. Hope you can see that. Right. So that's an appointment we booked for one actually I've got tomorrow. And this certificate basically is an authorization for you to get back in the country, which backs up the document, which is the resguardo. Right? So this is what the police are telling people here, this end. So if you're, obviously this is going to apply to people already in the UK, but say you're in the process of getting your TIE card, you have your resguardo, but you haven't got your TIE card. As we know, in many parts of Spain, there's delays in getting them. The advice from the police here is that you also need to carry this document, the Autorizacion de Regreso. All right. Now, the process for getting one of these is very similar to getting an NIA certificate. Okay, so you have to take obviously you take your appointment with you. You take a document which is called an X13, which we have here. You have to take a copy of your passport, copy of your resguardo, and pay a tax of €10.61. You hand that into them, they check it all out, and obviously you have to take your original passport and the original resguardo the day of the appointment. And then after around 5 days, your certificate's ready, you go back and pick it up, and you keep that alongside your resguardo, which is extra proof that you've apply for your residency, apply for your TIE card, and you come back into the country with both. Now, that's not mentioned on here. So it was just really an insight into, obviously, this is the British government. They've obviously come up with this from negotiations with Spain. But the police here, the immigration authorities here, are saying you also need to have a autorización de regreso. Okay, so if you are planning on traveling, and you do have your resguardo, and you can organize an autorización de regreso, then I can't see as it's a bad idea. You know, we're in volatile times at the moment, and I'm sure if you got to the border when you were coming back and you waved the the government website in the border forces face and said, no, I've got this and this is the advice for travelling, they'd let you in. But hey, look, this is the advice from the police here, so it might be a good idea to organise one of these certificates as well.